Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to inspire a world where food makes us better. Guys, today we are talking about habits again and sugar again. Today specifically, we are talking about quitting that habit, eating sugar. Last week, we talked a lot about building habits that you actually want. And today in the show notes, you'll find a link to my recent blog based on a Tiny Habits book written by PhD BJ Fogg. I believe that's the name of the author, but that's really an amazing book. Practical stuff based on science of human psychology and behavior. All the practical stuff you'll ever need to build habits that you want to have in life, to create better self, better life, to mold and design and reshape yourself into the person you've always wanted to be. Is it something that you might want? Like quitting sugar so you could look and feel so much better? Because guys, hands down, like about sugar, the less you have, the better you are. There is no arguing about that. You're gonna sleep better, you're gonna have more balanced energy levels, your emotions will stop roller coasting up and down, up and down, up and down. And of course, you're gonna look better. It's gonna be easier for you to maintain healthier habits and fitness. And down the road, you're not gonna have diabetes and a lot of other diseases related to eating sugar, like more chances to get cancer or heart disease or some dementia or Alzheimer's or other brain disorders. So sugar is linked to all of that. But on a daily basis, again, you're gonna sleep better, have more energy, and your your relationships are all gonna get better. Yeah, because of sugar, guys. So quitting sugar is one of the best things in nutrition and health you can do for yourself. So how do we actually quit sugar? Guys, I had probably like the biggest sweet tooth that I inherited from my father. He probably still has it. That's why no matter how I tried to educate him or talk him into quitting sugar, he's still eating his cookies from time to time. But now he eats them much, much less because of all the nutritious foods that I instructed my mom to cook. And also taught her by example when living with my parents for 6 months during lockdown and quarantine and COVID-19 and everything, and all of that in between. Anyhow, guys, so quitting sugar, it's one of the best things you can do for yourself. It's one of the simplest things, meaning you don't overthink it. Before we start talking about the practical stuff of actually how do we quit sugar, right? Before that, guys, understand that sugar is brown sugar, is coconut sugar, is white sugar made of beets, by the way, so or cane sugar. It's not that far from any sorts of brown sugar or coconut sugar. Honey, agave syrup, coconut nectar, maple syrup, all that is sugar, added sugar. Process sometimes not refined like with honey, but it's still concentrated, extracted, kind of like sugary substance that doesn't have any fiber or anything. There are some vitamins and minerals in honey, but not really a lot. So it's still sugar. Also, you can find sugar in things like breakfast cereals, or fitness bars, or protein shakes, or meal replacements. A lot of vegan protein shakes would have a lot of sugar, and a lot of other protein shakes that are not non-vegan also would have a lot of sugar. Kombucha, yogurt, different sorts of probiotic rich foods. Like one part of those probiotic rich foods help your gut bacteria, and then the other part, a lot of sugar kills good gut bacteria. Not, kills them, but feeds bad gut bacteria that then can overcrowd the good gut bacteria. Then you can find your sugar in dressings, pickled vegetables, canned food like canned beans, for example, all kinds of spices and herbs mixes. So make sure yours doesn't have sugar. Basically, sugar is almost everywhere in packaged foods. So make sure that your staples, like foods that you eat on a regular basis, don't have sugar. And if they do, then find the alternative, because the thing is, there is an alternative. Like, for example, here in my hands, I just picked it up. I have a can of chickpeas, and this one ingredients are organic chickpeas and water, and that's it. And that's, what you kind of want to look for. Water, chickpeas, and good can to keep it all fresh and tasty. So sugar is everywhere. So how do we quit sugar? One thing at a time, guys. That's one of my best recommendations, meaning don't try to quit sugar everywhere. It will be overwhelming, especially if you have sugar habit that is spread it all over, in shakes and bars and candy and dessert. Start with the one that, from your perspective, makes the biggest impact. Maybe you want to start with quitting sugar as your afternoon snack, or maybe you want to quit sugar as your night snack with, maybe some Netflix that you might do. Maybe you start with quitting sugar for breakfast and choosing sugar-free cereal instead of cereal full of sugar. So quitting sugar, the first step you do to quit sugar is, realize that you do want to quit sugar and understand why it's important for you personally to quit sugar. And then take a piece of paper, draw a circle or something that reminds a circle or a cloud, write down in the center of that cloud quitting sugar as the habit, and then put or draw a bunch of arrows pointing outside of that cloud or circle, and write down as many as you can remember instances in your life where you are consuming sugar. Like, again, maybe breakfast cereal, or a night snack with Netflix, or afternoon snack after lunch or instead of lunch. Then maybe canned food that you have. Then maybe spices and herbs. Then maybe, some after workout shake or something like that. So write down all these instances where you eat sugar right now. And then choose one. Maybe let's start with night sugar eating, like sugary snacks with Netflix. And then we want to not just quit sugar. A lot of times what we would do, we would start choosing between sugar and hunger, sugar and nothing. So basically you might still watch your Netflix, but now there is nothing. You're just sitting there hungry, more or less. Well, that's not going to work. So instead, one of the easiest, simplest thing to do is figure out a replacement that you like, that is good for you, and that keeps you satiated and not hungry, and again, that you like. And replace that sugary stuff with that other thing that might not be, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's got to be better. Like for me, it was nuts. I used to have a lot of cravings for sweets at night, and sometimes, more often than not, I would not give in to that temptation. But also, at least once a week, what would happen is I would eat a lot of sweets. And at first, I tried to not eat anything, so basically going hungry or eating sweets, that was the choice. But it never worked. I would still at least once a week eat those sweets. So then I tried another thing. I tried replacing sweets with nuts. I love nuts, and that's why eating more of them, I never needed any motivation to eat nuts, so I love nuts, right? And so I decided, okay, maybe nuts aren't perfect, maybe they do have a lot of calories, and maybe they're kind of heavy for, night before bed snack. It depends on the amount, actually. But I needed to change something and to start moving forward. So maybe they were not perfect, but they're still good, full of minerals and vitamins and healthy fats and fiber, and has been shown to be on the diets of people who live really long, disease-free. So nuts are good, right? Overall, they're good. I just made sure that they didn't have any salt or sugar or anything that can stimulate my appetite, just raw or dry roasted. And so I would make sure that my nuts were always in the fridge, in the cupboard, somewhere near me. And so when there was an intense craving for sweets, I would eat nuts. I would eat nuts as much as I wanted. And then the next time it happened, again, I would eat nuts. And so after a couple of months, that was my new behavior. Whenever I felt like I was hungry or, frustrated, upset, or I felt like I needed something, or I was watching something and I wanted some snack, I would eat nuts. And so little by little, I stopped eating sugar. And now, the last time I had sugar was last New Year, and that only happened because my cousin made this amazing cake, red velvet, for a whole family that was, homemade and all the best ingredients, and it was so beautiful. And I just had it not because I felt like I needed sweets or that I deserved them or it was holiday and I needed my sugar fix. No, I just had it because it was fun, it looked fun, and I wanted to share it with my family. I had just one piece, and that's it. And now it's December and I didn't have any added sugar. Like, I love my fruit, but I don't consider that added sugar, and neither should you. It's whole food that happened to be sweet. So replace. That's the lesson of today, guys. Replace, and not just with like some celery sticks. Like, if I tried back then to replace my sugar eating habit with celery stick, like, forget about it. I wouldn't be satisfied. I don't like celery sticks. I don't buy them usually. So replace it with something you are actually motivated to do, something that you like, something that is easy. And don't forget to make it easy, guys. Make sure that, for example, in my case, I made sure that I had nuts in my house ready to go, so I didn't have to go somewhere. On the other side, don't have sweets in the house. Take the ice cream out of the freezer, take all the sweets, all the sugary snacks, everything that you usually have for that night snack out of your house. Make it difficult. And that's the next part. You want to make the habit that you want to quit as difficult as possible. And where you can look at is difficult time-wise, money-wise, effort, physical and mental wise, or routine wise. Like, it's going to be now difficult, then you'll have to go out of your way to make this habit that you're trying to quit happen. So if you're trying to, for example, quit your late night sugary snacks eating, so let's brainstorm some ideas on how to make it difficult. For example, you can take it out of your house, and that's gonna make it difficult because every time now you want to eat sweets, you will have to get dressed, go out, and it's probably nighttime and you're tired. You don't want to go shopping. You don't want to maybe see other people at night. You just want to chill, right? And now you don't have anything sweet in your house. So you have to spend time getting dressed, going to the store, maybe even driving there, and then getting back, and then getting undressed, and only then you can enjoy your sweets. So time-wise, you make it difficult. Then money-wise, not so much, even though if you drive, it's money, and time is also money. You could be doing something else with that time instead of going shopping for, ice cream. So time, money, physical and mental effort. It is more effort to get dressed, to go out, to walk, to maybe see other people, to stay in line, to do all of that for just ice cream. Really? So more mental and physical effort for sure. And it's out of your routine. Now, instead of just chilling and having some relaxing time by yourself or with your family, with your loved ones, maybe with your friends, your roommates, now, or maybe watching Netflix, now you have to get dressed, go out, go shopping and do all of that, and your whole routine of relaxing gonna be later, and then you're gonna not sleep that much and not be that rested and refreshed. You get the idea. So it's out of your routine. It's, complicates your life. So you're much less likely to do that. So in my case, there are no sweets in my house ever still. And the same rule goes to anywhere I stay. I just, talk to people, and most people are fine with that, because nobody really wants to eat sugar on a regular basis. What else? Another example from my life. When I lived in Sochi, that's an Olympic city in Russia, for a while, I lived there. And there was a food, my apartment was on the hill, kind of like on a hill. And the only store that had any sweets, like any store actually, it was downhill, and it was quite a steep hill. And also there was no elevator, so I actually had to climb stairs back to my apartment. So there were no sweets in my house. And in order for me to get sweets at night, I would have to, in the dark, there was no good light, by the way, to lead the way. In the dark, I would have to go down that hill, pretty steep hill, a few more minutes of walking to that store, then, buy sweets. And then I would have to go back sweating very often, because it's quite hot and warm in Sochi. So I would have to climb that hill back, and again, it was quite steep, even if it was short, but quite steep. And then I would have to climb the stairs, and only then I can start eating my sweets. So let me assure you, I did not do that night walk for the sweets very often. It might have happened to me like one time, but that was it, because it was just too painful. Time, energy, and everything just was too difficult. I'm like, forget about it. It's not worth it. And so that's what you want to do. You want to make it difficult to get those sweets. In any of those situations where you're trying to redesign your behavior and quit sugar. Again, take one behavior at a time, like eating sugar at night, or maybe eliminating added sugar from your breakfast. So one habit at a time. Make it extra difficult. Again, take the sugar out of your house. That's step number one. And then replace it with something that you like and that is easy to do, and make it super easy for you to do. Again, so if it's morning breakfast, for example, then get a lot of other great cereals that you kind of excited to try and love, instead of that sugary stuff. Or maybe try something completely different that you always wanted to try. Maybe like now you're gonna have eggs with some vegetables that you love, maybe some mushrooms, onions, I don't know, tomatoes, whatever else you might like. I love spinach. So maybe you try completely different breakfast, right? But try to, again, choose something that is easy. That's why replacing one cereal with another, and choosing unsweetened milk if you vegan or vegetarian, or just love using almond or oat milk or coconut milk. So choose the unsweetened milk for sure. So that replacement will make your breakfast, for example, feel very the same and natural, but at the same time, you're not gonna have sugar there. Maybe instead you have some like banana or freshly cut fruit or berries in it, but make it easy and simple. Okay. And the thing that you're trying to quit, sugar, make it extra difficult. So again, to sum it up, you choose a habit that you don't want to be doing, like quitting sugar, for example. You're breaking down into precise, concrete behaviors. So sugar habit is just one big thing, but you might be having sugar for breakfast, as a snack with your Netflix, as your afternoon snack, maybe in some packaged, canned beans, or something like that. So one specific behavior at a time. Take a week and address address that specific behavior. And so you want to attack that behavior from two sides. You want to replace it with easier something that you also like one cereal with sugar, and also, for example, almond milk with sugar. You replace with unsweetened milk and cereal that doesn't have any sugar. Maybe add some fresh fruit to make it sweeter, right? Or you might replace, like I did, sugary snack while watching Netflix or in the evening while doing something else, with things like nuts. Something that you like, something that doesn't have sugar, something that's good for you, and make it easy to do so you always have nuts in your house. And that's how that's the effective way to stop doing habits that we don't want to do. For example, another habit that a lot of people are trying to quit these days, and I'm among those people, is overdoing social media. And so what I'm doing this week is I deleted all the notifications from my phone, and so far it's working really beautifully. So I actually just removed the prompt. So there is nothing reminding me to check my Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or TikTok. I'm like everywhere. So just removing this reminder, all the notifications. Now I don't really check my social media. I just do my work, and whenever I need to put something out on Instagram, I just put it there and I continue doing whatever else I need to do. That's another thing. Just remove the trigger, the prompt, something that reminds you to check your social media. It actually works really well for many people, guys. Try it out too if social media habits something that you're always trying to reduce, quit, or manage better. Hopefully you found this episode useful, and now you're gonna approach quitting bad habits that do not contribute to creating your best self and your best life experience. So now you have really effective tools, and now it's your turn to use them, because just via knowing them in your head, it doesn't make things happen differently. So you actually got to practice those things, right? So re-listen to this episode again to have these concepts of how to better quit habits that you don't want to have in your life. So re-listen to this episode, to the concept, solidify it in your head, share this episode with a person, with your friends, with your family, so you together work on it and figure out different ways how each of you can quit different habits that you don't want to continue. So share it, learn together, practice it together, brainstorm together. Together is we do everything better. And guys, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out either via email that you can find in the show notes. By the way, also in the show notes, there is my blog, my recent blog about tiny habits book. So yeah, share this episode, check out the link, reach out if you have any questions via email or any social media. And as usual, guys, till next time, eat better daily.